Damage reduction has been introduced to the game on RuneScape BETA, and shields contribute to that. Similar to how spirit shields currently work in the live game, but now the Barrows shields, the level 90 tier shields, will be more useful. They have a 10.8% damage reduction in total, and the spirit shields will have a 9% damage reduction, so the level 90 tiered Barrows shields will have a 1.8% increase in damage reduction than the spirit ones, along with of course the increase of armor rating and life bonus. But there is a huge but. Now I went in to test this, and the spirit shields still have their 30% absorption rate, and I'm going to get into the workings out and how I work this out later on in this video. But for now I just want to basically look more into this update and basically explain why I find it interesting in terms of the damage reduction and what impact I feel it will have on the game. To be honest, it is a factor that stands out the most for me in terms of the recent combat beta updates, and that's why basically I'm producing a video on it. Okay, so Jagex now had a chance to balance out the shields, but they haven't really taken it correctly. So I thought on Malevolent Shields tier 90, they're going to have damage reduction. This is awesome, they've been buffed. Spirit Shields will only have the damage, the shield reduction percentage and the tank armor percentage, and I thought that's going to be awesome too. But no, I'll go into the percentages later, by the way, in terms of how I worked it all out. But to be honest, it's just strange why they've taken this route. Essentially, it creates the ultimate fact that shields are just not balanced still. Spirit shields with a penance aura, probably, or even without one, are just too overpowered, and T90 shields just cannot compete. For example, at Virago, if you're merely base tanking, it's still best to have a divine with penance with power armor, as you've already reached the cap with just the one shield. This also allows you then to quickly switch to dual wield when needing to DPS. Same if you're mage base tanking, so that's how it would work if the beta goes live into the real game. It would be fine with spirit shield absorption if it was nerfed to the same as Malevolent, and then it still gave you your prayer reduction points. That I would accept that, and I think that would be quite useful. But at the moment, T90 shields just cannot compete. So I'm at the King Black Dragon. It was the closest thing to where I was in Edgeville, so I thought I'd go and try out here in terms of the shield differences. As you can see, it still does not reduce your prayer points, similar to the level 80 tiered chaotic shields. So the Malevolent level 90 Barrow shields will not reduce your prayer points still. And I just wanted to make sure of this, as Jagex may have added it discreetly. Now with the spirit shields, it still reduces your prayer points significantly, and I'm now going to prove how much damage absorption the spirit shields are currently taking in the beta. Okay, I'm going to throw a lot of figures at you now and just watch the screen carefully. Okay, so I'm dealt 507 damage and my prayer points reduced by 44. Now that's the most important figure, the prayer points reduced by 44. Now as you know, spirit shields technically on the live game currently they have 30% damage absorption, and 6% of that original damage is reduced with your prayer points, which essentially in this situation I'm guessing if it's 30% absorption rate it is 44 prayer points. Let's work this out. So to obviously prove this theory, 507 the damage dealt, you divide that by 70 times it by 100, that gives you 724 original damage, which would have been dealt if I didn't have my shield on. Now you want to times that by 0.06, which is 6%, and that equals 43.45, which essentially is 44. Now I don't know whether Jagex or why they've rounded it up, but that's their choice. Maybe it's binary or something. So essentially guys, what this proves is that it hasn't really changed much. The spirit shield still has its hidden absorption rate of 30%. Now on to damage reduction in general. So this percentage is also determined by the amount of tank armor you are wearing. So my Torva armor, as you can see in my inventory, and if I'm wearing it on screen, will not actually contribute anything to the damage reduction percentage due to it being power armor. There are three types of armors in the game, as you know, tank armor, power armor, and hybrid armor. Now, this is a great contribution, to be honest, to the game in terms of tank armor, but some may argue, what about DPS and power armor? Yes, you have the damage, which shows up when you hover over it, but is it really explicit? I don't think so, so Jagex might do something with that. So my Rage Fire Boots contribute, for example. The shield also has a contribution to tank armor damage reduction, which some may disagree with and think that it should only have the shield reduction to make it more transparent and explicit again. Also, Port's armor, for example, contributes. The Malevolent Kite Shield by itself gives a 9% shield bonus, but also gives a 1.8% tank armor bonus. So overall, obviously, that's where you get the 10.8% from. Now you can also see a 9.9% defense level bonus. This, I assume, is determined by your defense level, and this acts as a base for each player, almost making it more transparent to players with how your defense level directly impacts the amount of damage taken from monster attacks. By the way, PvE stands for player versus environment. I hope you found this video useful. I know shields are not as important as they used to be before dual wielding was introduced with the EOC, however shields do still come in handy and have their benefits, especially within the tanking roles, and if it helps you stay at a boss for longer trips or makes it easier in any way, it's definitely worth it. That's all I have to say for this video. What are your thoughts on the beta changes and the damage reduction aspect, which they most likely will be introducing into the live game? Also, 2 more questions. Question 2, are spirit shields overpowered? And question 3, should Barrow shields tier 90 be buffed to compete with the spirit shields, if that's your opinion? Feel free guys to express your opinions in the comment section below. I will reply to all of them for question 1, 2 and 3. Thanks a lot guys for watching this video. These types of videos take a heck of a lot of effort to make, so if you do want these in the future, then let me know by rating the video. It's really much appreciated, and I'll see you in my next video guys, and as always, thanks for watching.